Republicans in the U.S. Senate are now threatening to, quote, break ranks with Donald Trump over his association and peddling of his wacky, crazy, anti-science ideas, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Here's what several Republicans said this week about Kennedy and Trump's press briefing, where they falsely claimed that taking acetaminophen during pregnancy was linked to an increased rate of autism, which no scientific study has ever shown. Here's what Republican Senator Bill Cassidy, chair of the Senate Health Committee, had to say. Health and Human Services should release the new data that it has to support this claim. The preponderance of evidence shows that this is not the case. The concern is that women will be left with no options to manage pain in pregnancy. You're going to change a medical guideline without science? I mean, you're going to build a bridge without physics? You're going to fly a plane without engineering? So Cassidy, Republican senator from Louisiana, clearly not buying any of this. That's why he's like, release the science. What do you have? And by the way, during that press briefing on Monday, Donald Trump actually said while announcing it, this is what I feel is happening. I feel this is what's happening. He's going on vibes. Republican Senator Susan Collins said, quote, it appears that Monterez, one of the officials, was under a lot of pressure to approve recommendations that may come from the committee that may lack scientific basis. So that is disturbing and would undermine our public health efforts. I'm very pleased that Chairman Cassidy is going to have these hearings. Then Lisa Murkowski, of course, she said it's very unsettling and very concerning. Very concerning. Are Murkowski and Collins ever able to say anything other than it's very concerning? Hey, Brett Kavanaugh may have, R-worded this woman. What do you think of that? Oh, it's very concerning. Hey, he was a pretty much borderline alcoholic. Oh, it's very concerning. Hey, Donald Trump's kind of becoming a dictator. Yeah, it's very concerning. Hey, kids are going to die because Trump told them not to get vaccines based on false material from Kennedy. Oh, it's very concerning. Piss off. Like, piss off all the way with that crap. Then you had an unnamed senator who told The Hill, speaking on the condition of anonymity, you see a lot of Republicans starting to break ranks here, and there's a lot of noise. I think it will come down to Trump and what his tolerance level is for all this noise around Kennedy. I don't think he likes all the noise. He hasn't liked that previously. He has really low tolerance level for that, but Bobby Kennedy's different. He's not like anyone else in the cabinet. And that's a good point, right? When Hegseth was going through all of his stupidity, his nonsense, nonstop scandals, the White House actually pulled him in this summer, in June, I believe it was, and basically said, if you don't knock this off, you're gone. We have had this, like Tulsi Gabbard recently got in trouble with him. All of these other people have gotten in trouble. But Kennedy, no. Kennedy, of course, is the most popular member of the administration, according to recent polling. And when I say most popular, he still has a net -7 approval rating. So most people hate him, but they just hate him less than they hate everybody else in the cabinet. So he's not doing well, but he's doing better than everybody else. I imagine those polls are going to drop after Monday's press conference. Trump's own pollsters, Fabrizio and Ward, warned him and Republicans in the Senate that all this attack on vaccines, all of this, all of these false statements about autism, the voters hate it. Even Republican voters hate it. Even MAGA Republican voters aren't buying this crap. Kennedy is hurting you. I talked about that story a couple weeks ago. That Trump's own pollsters, the few people in the world he trusts, are telling him that. Now you got the Republicans in the Senate telling him that explicitly. Kennedy is taking you down. You've got articles coming out this week to saying, oh, Kennedy's only doing this because of his trial lawyer buddies. They want to sue Tylenol for autism, even though they tried to a couple years ago and the judge basically laughed it out of the court, immediately getting rid of it because they had no evidence. The whole thing is dumb. Kennedy is dumb. He wasn't always dumb. He's become dumber because he doesn't read real things anymore. He reads quack science from a bunch of hacks and thinks it's true. He thinks true things are false. Like something, obviously, maybe more worms have gotten in there. I don't know. But he is absolutely dragging this administration down from the inside. And honestly, it would be hilarious if it wasn't also putting people's lives at risk. So I take no joy in this. I don't even cheer it on. Because, yeah, Kennedy's probably going to get his ass fired eventually. The administration is going to lose even more approval because of what Kennedy's doing. But at the same time, people do buy into it. And that decision to follow fake science instead of real science will always lead to unnecessary deaths. Thanks for watching, everyone. You know, we're inching closer and closer to 1 million subscribers, and we're aiming to hit that goal before the year closes. So if you aren't subscribed to the channel, please do so, and don't forget to like, comment, and share. Thanks for joining us as we head towards this huge milestone.